Welcome to the Midnight Hour Radio Show, a place where stars call home. We're on the phone with singer, songwriter, actress Ny'Aira. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you this evening?
Oh, I'm wonderful. So Ny'Aira, tell us where you're calling from right now.
Well, I'm reigning out of Cleveland, Ohio at the current time. Just doing a little touring, of course, visiting family and taking care of business.
Right, absolutely. What I want to know is, and the audience might want to know, once again, you're listening to the Midnight Hour Radio Show with Myron Grace and the author, singer, songwriter Ny'Aira, is what made you want to sing, Ny'Aira? Can you even remember? How old are you right now?
Oh, my goodness. I am 18 years young, of course. I do actually remember. My mom used to tell me the story of when I was 3 years old, and the radio alarm went off, and one of the Keith Sweat songs, one of his popular songs at the time, came on, and I sang the song from beginning to end, just belting it all the way through. And that really started the journey for us. At 6 years old, I remember going to my very first major audition for the stage production Annie in New York. I beat out 300 girls, but when it came up to the final cut, I didn't make it. But even from then, I decided that I still wanted to continue to pursue my career. And 14 years later in the industry, working in multiple networks, both on television, theater, and commercials, I'm still here and I'm pushing.
Absolutely. So 18 years old, how many albums do you think you've been worked on or released? Tell us some of the things you've done. Author, singer, songwriter, actress Ny'Aira on the Midnight Hour Radio Show with Myron Grace.
All right, no problem. Just going through a small synopsis of everything that I've done so far in my 14 years. Traveling nationwide from New York to Chicago, Atlanta, Alabama, Los Angeles, and so much more. Having the opportunity to perform out of the country in the UK, and working with different networks such as NBC, ABC, Fox, Disney, Nickelodeon, and Lifetime. And currently working on my debut album, as well as dropping a couple of singles. First and foremost, I have a single out by the name of Woosa that's available out on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon, so be on the lookout for that. And I'm also releasing 2 new singles this month in March, so be on the lookout for that. And also check out my official radio show by the name of Night Airways Radio on Spaces of Success Radio. So that's pretty much all that I'm doing right now, of course. I know it doesn't seem like I know it seems like it's kind of hard because I am a college student, but I take my courses online, and yeah, it gets hectic sometimes, but I love it. I love staying busy.
Well, we're on the phone with author, singer, songwriter, actress Ny'Aira on the Midnight Hour Radio Show with Myron Grace. What are some of your future plans, Ny'Aira?
That's a really good question. In regards to my future, of course, I see myself working with multiple different artists, both on the independent standpoint as well as major. I believe in giving people a chance to express themselves creatively because I was given that chance, whether it's knowing somebody who knows somebody or even just climbing your way up the stairs to success. Of course, winning awards, being nominated for Grammys or even movie scoring for Oscars and things of that sort. I'm definitely looking forward to, in the future, working on my own independent label. That would be amazing for me, as well as doing production work behind the scenes, as well as being in the forefront as an artist, as well as helping other artists continue to strive and take care of their dreams. And even helping youth, because I'm a really big community person, and having your community behind you 100% is very important to me, and giving back to as many people as I possibly can, even with working with nonprofit organizations such as Brita Cares or Music Fuel, and also the Brittany Johnson Cancer Foundation. I'm always big on making other people's dreams, whether they're in middle school, high school, or even some adults that are just learning how to break into the industry. Giving back is so important.
So, Ny'Aira, Can you tell us some of the things that motivate you by being a young, positive young lady? Like, what's some of the things daily that you depend on that motivates you to keep you so positive and focused on your career? Myron Grace on the phone with author, singer, songwriter, actress Ny'Aira Collins on the Midnight Hour radio show.
I would definitely say with my mother being by my side, she's one of my biggest motivations. Yeah, she's a tough critic when it comes to music and staying on top of my schoolwork, but she's one of my biggest motivations. And always having tunnel vision, as I like to say, and putting your dreams into existence where you know where you're going to go and know where your dreams are and know what your passion is. And that in itself can motivate you to continue forth to do and put your best foot forward.
Okay. Author, singer, actress Ny'Aira Collins on the Midnight Hour radio show with Myron Grace. Tell us some of the people that inspired you, even from a young age, Ny'Aira Collins.
Okay, well, first and foremost, shout out to my team that's inspiring me all the way through way back music management. Shout out to DC, Chanel, Maestro, my engineering production. Love you guys. And my biggest inspirations, well, number one on the list, of course, has to be Prince. I can listen to Prince and the Revolution, the compilation B-side album, as well as the Purple Rain album. And Prince, lyrically, a lot of people didn't really understand him as a person and as an artist. But when you're in that kind of a zone, you have to really put your visors on full fledged and see beyond just what's on the screen and see the person for themselves. Prince really inspired me, as well as Tina Marie, as well as Joe Scott, Sarah Vaughan, Chaka Khan, Sly and Family Stone. I'm really an old school person. I love my old school. Earth, Wind and Fire, Confunction, the Commodores. Diana Ross was my biggest inspiration when I was younger. I remember just watching Double Platinum from the 1998 film, as well as Brandy coming out with her album, the Never Say Never album. Learned every song from the movie. So yeah, just to name a few, those are my biggest inspirations from now all the way to the beginning of my career.
Well, Ny'Aira Collins on the Midnight Hour radio show, singer, songwriter, actress Ny'Aira Collins with Myron Grace. Can you give us an idea of who would you say of all the people you just named that you model your music most after, or have you developed your own style?
One thing my mother always taught me is to pull inspiration from everywhere around you, whether it's multiple different artists or even something that you hear instrumental. I try to incorporate as many sounds as I can, but I also love to create my own organic sound, just to bring back the original feel of what real music really is, as far as R&B and soul. And as far as a specific artist targeted to, I guess you could say Aaliyah. Definitely that 90s soulful R&B feel. And of course, my 70s inspiration, 70s, 80s, and 90s. But definitely, if you had to compare me to somebody or emulate me around someone specifically, I guess you could say Aaliyah with a taste of Prince and Chaka Khan.
Right, absolutely. Well, author, singer Ny'Aira Collins, one of the things that I would like to know is that when you writing a song, because you know a lot of people can't write songs, but when you're writing a song, tell us some of the things that you draw from. What kind of energy do you draw from? Do you draw from the universe? Do you listen to somebody else's music? How do you write your songs? What inspires you to write your songs, Ny'Aira Collins?
Right. My music process is very different. When it comes to writing content, I pull from life experiences, whether it be something that I've gone through in the past or going through something currently. I'm always kind of giving people a window into what's going on in my life and making it relatable. Even just telling a story. Storytelling is very important to me as well. Just painting a picture for somebody to listen. It might be relatable for what they're going through at the time or as I said, what I'm currently going through. So I pull from different experiences, stories, and time frames, and it shapes into what the music may be. And I don't necessarily have a set story whenever I hear a track or I hear music. I hear the music in my head, and the words come afterwards as well as the melody first.
Okay. So you hear the music first. Author, singer, songwriter Ny'Aira on the phone with Myron Grace, the Midnight Hour radio show, a place where stars call home. What are some of your other talents, Ny'Aira? You spoke on a few of them earlier, but be more specific. What are some of your other talents? Author, singer, songwriter, actress Ny'Aira.
Definitely. Of course, I mentioned being a radio personality as well as COO of Faces of Success Radio, and that is very interesting in itself, being I guess you could say the junior disc jockey when it comes to interviewing people as well as playing music. Not only from my perspective, I like to give independent artists a platform, and also what's playing, what's hot, what's not, and just giving a window of what I listen to. Also, I guess you could say another talent of mine.
What would that be?
I voiceovers. Of course, in the acting world, there's so many different types of acting. There's theater, there's television, there's commercials. And I love to emulate and do different voices and impressions of people. I absolutely love it. It goes from. And also creative writing. I love creative writing. Like you said, being an author, I haven't really put that out there, but I'm in the process of writing my very first own adventurous book, thriller. It's really interesting, the process from going from writing music to just writing a full-fledged book. But it's all a great journey in the creative process. Being creative as much as I possibly can is always important.
Well, author, singer, songwriter, actress, some of the things you do is amazing at 18 years old. One of the things that people want to know about is your personal life. Tell us about how your career affects your personal life. As a young person, that's definitely something that the audience would want to know, especially as a young person.
Right. In all honesty, if it's not work in school, I do have some time to hang out with the few friends I do have. A lot of times with traveling, my friends are sprawled out in different states. So whenever I'm in town, I try to spend time with them as much as I possibly can. But my life is pretty much evolved around getting my audio production degree and making sure my career takes off as much as it possibly can. And when I do have time to talk to my friends, I'm always FaceTiming. Once I take care of my business, I'm always FaceTiming my friends, checking on my friends, and if I have time to hang out, then, that's fine. And the few friends I do have, because I learned along the way you have to keep your circle small, the few friends I do have understand, and they're rooting for me, so that makes it a whole lot easier.
Well, we have Ny'Aira Collins. She is a singer, songwriter, actress. She's about to be an author on the phone on the Midnight Hour radio show with Myron Grace. Ny'Aira Collins, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years. That is a really good question. I think I would definitely put myself in the perspective of having a few albums out. I'm definitely wanting to give my creative process as much as possible. Touring, of course, whether it be national or international. Speaking to youth. I'm definitely into speaking and doing seminars and panels, of course, in different aspects of whether it's entertainment or when it comes to a political standpoint. I'm not really big on putting myself out there, but as far as taking a stand for something, taking a stand for a cause, I'm definitely for it. As I said, working on my independent label and just continuing to grow as a person, because not only is your career important, but your personal well-being is just as important. And learning to grow, learning who you are. I want to learn who I am even more. I don't even know who I will be in 10 years. I may be the next Brandy. I may be the next Diana Ross in 10 years. I may be just lyrically inclined as one of my biggest inspirations, Prince. Not putting myself in that big of a light, of course, but you never know where your journey is going to take you. But I'm trying to touch as many people as I possibly can and grow and learn who I am.
Well, author, singer, songwriter, actress, Ny'Aira Collins on the Midnight Hour radio show with Myron Grace. What would you want to say in the next 60 seconds or so? Tell your audience something about you that we might not know. Ny'Aira Collins on the Midnight Hour radio show.
Well, of course, check me out on my official website, Ny'AiraCollins.com, Ny'Aira2LINS.com, same as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And aside from my career and my schooling, I am a huge nerd. I am a gamer. I love Call of Duty. I love 2K, all of the 2K. Specifically, I'm trying to get my hands on 2K17. Assassin's Creed, and so much more. I am a gamer to a T. I'm even trying to get tickets to Comic-Con. So, aside from music, being a musical nerd, I am a nerd all the way, true and true.
Okay. So, Ny'Aira Collins on the Midnight Hour radio, singer, songwriter, model, actress, about to be an author. Can you tell us again how people can get in touch with you?
Absolutely. Check me out on my official site, Ny'AiraCollins, and same Ny'Aira Collins on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And go like up my page. I follow back.
Absolutely. So, do you want to say anything before we go? Ny'Aira Collins on the Midnight Hour radio, singer, songwriter, young talent on the Midnight Hour radio show with Myron Grace. Do you want to say anything to your audience before we go?
Absolutely. One big piece of advice I could give is always stay authentic and true to who you are. Authenticity is huge in no matter what industry you are. You could be the next Andy Warhol, the next Jennifer Hudson. You could even be the next Michael Kors based on your avenue or industry. Staying true to who you are and keeping originality and never giving up on your dreams is so important.
Absolutely. I want to thank you, Ny'Aira Collins, singer, songwriter, model, actress, soon-to-be author, for coming on the Midnight Hour radio show, a place where stars call home. And let's not forget about Cleveland hit station, WCLE, all Cleveland all the time. Thank you, Ny'Aira Collins, for coming on the Midnight Hour radio show. Woohoo! Thank you so much.
Thank you. And shout out to Midnight Hour radio show.
All right, Ny'Aira. Thanks a lot. You have a good day, okay?